The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This power that I have, yeah, the world didn't give it to me. This power that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This power that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This joy, one more time. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away.
Thank you, Jimmy and Julie. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Reverend Lee Alvarado. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Northern Colorado. So glad that you have joined us this evening. We are an inclusive community. We honor all faiths, all paths to God. Wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. And each week we I present, different principles that you can take out and apply into your life. And the hope is that you'll experience more joy, more freedom, and more peace. Let's say our mission and our vision together. Our mission: we are an inclusive community inspiring personal growth, spiritual practice, and a positive way of life. And our vision: to awaken humanity, revealing a world that works for everyone. All right, do we have little ones today? No, we don't. We're going to skip right through that slide, unless you all want to sing it. No, okay, no. All right, it's a good song, though. All right, so I'm going to invite Marie up. Hello.
Hello.
Marie's going to tell us what's coming up in terms of events.
I'm going to tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
So, September outreach. September, I believe, is Suicide Awareness Month.
Yes,
is it not? That's why our
Outreach.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for, because it doesn't even say it on here. Oh, it does. September Outreach is the Alliance for Suicide Prevention of Larimer County. They provide support to those who have lost a loved one and work together to build a community of peers who can reach out to their families, coworkers, and neighbors when they are in need. So they are our September Outreach. Introduction to the Enneagram with Linda Frazee, Saturday, September 16th, $60. There are scholarships available for this, and if you are not familiar with the Enneagram and you have not had the opportunity to tap the wisdom of the Enneagram, I highly recommend it. The Enneagram is a tool for self-discovery. It helps people understand their strengths, weaknesses, and areas for personal growth. Don't miss this amazing opportunity. And Linda Frazee is Michelle Madrano's mom. So Linda's here for the summer, because she lives in Arizona, and this is a good place to come in the summer when you live in Arizona. Yep. So don't miss that, because it's one of the most useful growth tools I have ever encountered in my life. And if you're wondering and you've read the book, I'm an 8, just so you know.
And I'm a 4, in case you're curious. If you know anything about it, I'm a 4.
Reverend Lee is a 4, Christine's a 9.
Yeah, so it's very helpful. You want to grow? Take the Enneagram.
Take the Enneagram.
It's really a wonderful.
It is a great
It's
self-discovery
going to be
tool.
a great class. Yeah.
Karen Drucker. Karen Drucker, oh my God, it's in this month. We're very excited. Thursday, September 21st, save the date and get your tickets today. Share the concert information with your Facebook friends. I've shared this on Facebook. All of the transformation is on our Facebook page and website.
Yes,
and
it
whatever
is.
transformation's not there is right here in this room. And then you could also go to Facebook for information as well.
Yes, as well as
I think there's
transformation.
some of that there.
Because Facebook is so transformational.
It
right?
is.
Yes,
Yeah.
we all know that. Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Food for New Thought dinner. If any of these announcements have entertained you, join me for grilled chicken and veggies at my house. Seriously and really, it doesn't just say that here. September 23rd at 6. It's a great time to gather and connect with others while making new friends and supporting CSL NOCO. $30 per person. All proceeds support CSL NOCO. There are only 4 slots left. And I'm gonna do a nice big vegetable spread for those people who don't eat meat, and as well, I'm thinking it may not be too late in the season for some grilled pineapple for
Yes,
dessert.
delicious.
Just saying. After service, speaking of food, potluck dinner. Don't miss out. Join us after service today for our potluck. We're going to be having them the first and third Sundays of the month, and today is the first Sunday of the month.
Yes, it is.
So we're having a potluck.
Yeah.
So, surprise. Here we are. And then, last but not least, everything else, www.cslnoco.org. I really, really, really miss my QR code.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm slacking here.
I want my QR code back.
Okay. I'll
And
get on
that is all the news that is new.
Thank you, Marie. All right, everyone. Let's settle back and go within as we begin with an opening prayer, a meditation, and a song. And the slides just went out.
So it is in this moment that I awaken my mind and my heart to that divine presence that is around and within. That one mind, that one heart, that one breath, that one life. That is the infinite source of absolutely everything. Knowing that we are all one in it. For it experiences and expresses life in and through us. And it is all around us, in each breath, in each moment, in each heartbeat, and in between each breath and each heartbeat. That presence is ever available, always guiding, always moving, always leading. And so what I know for this evening is that there is an awakening for each of us to this presence. An awakening to divine truth. An awakening to love. And we allow ourselves to awaken by being inspired through Reverend Leah's words as they come through her. We allow that in the joy and the music that we experience here. And we awaken to it by simply being present, either here or online. We recognize that oneness and that unity and that connection, even though we may not physically be together. We are together as one. And so it is in this awakening of divine truth and love that I give great thanks for this time together, for these words, for knowing that that presence and power is moving through each and every one of us this evening. And so I release these words to law and let them be and let them go, and know that that expression of the divine is happening right here, right now. And if you would like, please join me in saying, and so it is.
Love is who I am. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. There is only love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. There is only love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. There is only love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. There is only love.
So we've been thinking about Karen Drucker a lot recently. This is one of her songs that I enjoy very much.
When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved, see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved, feel the beloved in you. You are in my soul. You are my inspiration. With you in my heart, I am never alone. We are one. There is no separation. When I rest in you, I'm whole. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved, feel the beloved touching me. When I open my heart, I open to the beloved, to the beloved in you. When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved, see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved, feel the beloved in you. You are in my soul. the beloved touching me. When I open my heart, I open to the beloved, to the beloved in you. Beloved in you. Beloved in you. Beloved in you. Beloved in you.
Beautiful song. Thank you. Well, all month, welcome to September. I don't know where August went, but here we are now in September. And this month, I'm going to be talking about different faith traditions because our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, studied many different faith traditions and brought them into the teaching. And so I thought it would be nice to talk about some of these faith traditions and how they tie in with science of mind. So that's what I'm going to do today. So today, I'm talking about Buddhism. And I'm going to start by sharing a little bit of Buddha's background, if you will. So some of you may know this story, but Siddhartha Gautama was the son of a king. He was born 500 years before Jesus, and he grew up in the lap of luxury. He grew up in a palace, a huge palace. And, you know, he ate the finest foods, and he dressed in the finest clothing, and by the way, he had the finest women. So he was a little bit of a womanizer. And his, you know, for 29 years, he lived in this luxurious life. His father, the king, wanted to keep him shielded from the world outside of the palace because he just wanted him to just keep living this life of luxury and not witness the suffering of the world. So he kept him in this palace. And it was fine with him because he got everything he needed there. But then one day, his curiosity got the best of him, and he snuck out with his one of his chariot drivers and went out into the city. And he witnessed suffering for the first time. He said to the chariot driver, "What is that?" And the chariot driver said, "That's death." And then he looked over here and he said, "And what is that?" "That's someone who is sick." And what about over there? What's happening over there?" "That's someone who's elderly and having a hard time getting around." So he came back to the palace and he was reflecting on his experience, and he thought to himself, you know what? I need to understand what suffering is. I want to understand what is it. And so he made the decision to give up his extravagant life, and he became a monk. So he went from living in the palace and having all of his needs met to sleeping on cold, hard ground and begging for food. On his journey, he came across a holy man, and this holy man taught him how to meditate. This holy man also gave him some various other skills to help him go within, to help him connect with his inner world. But no matter how hard he tried, he still was present to the suffering in the world. He was still aware of his own and the suffering of others. He found another guru, and still the results were the same. Now, he did attain some higher states of consciousness. He did have moments of great and deep peace, but then he would always return. He would always return back to suffering. And so he left that master too. He said, "Okay, I'm done with you." So he went on for years like this, trying to get his question answered. Why do human beings suffer? Why do they suffer? One day, after years of trying to figure this out, he realized, gosh, I better listen to some of these gurus that keep telling me to go within. Because he realized he'd been trying to figure it out with his mind. And that's where the answers were coming from. The answers were not going to come from his mind. He realized, oh, I need to go within. That's where the answers are going to come from. So he decided to sit in front of the Bodhi tree, and he was committed to sit there until the answers came, that he would not move from that spot until the answers came. And so what he discovered as he sat there under the Bodhi tree is that all suffering is caused by the mind. It's all caused by the mind. And when he was able to witness these thoughts of suffering as they came through his mind, one after the other, he was able to witness each one of them with pure awareness. I'm going to talk about that quite a bit today. He was able to just see them and let them float on by like leaves on a stream. And he was able to do that again and again and again and again. And because of that, he awakened. He became known as the Buddha, and the Buddha means the enlightened one, the awakened one. The Dalai Lama said, Buddhism is more than a religion, it is a science of the mind. And that's why, it is a science. And in our philosophy, we refer to it as the same thing, the science of mind. Because as we focus on the mind, as we change our thinking, as we change our thoughts, it actually shows itself in our life in a different way, and it can be proven. And that's why it's a science. And so Ernest Holmes, you can tell that he was influenced by the Buddha, because he said this, or by Buddhism. He said, the ability to control your experiences and have them result in happiness, prosperity, and success lies in your own mind and the way you use it. So he knew that if we pay attention to our thoughts, if we pay attention to what's in our mind, that we can shift that. But we first have to become aware of it. We first have to become aware. The Buddha, sitting under that tree, under the Bodhi tree, discovered 4 noble truths. One is that there is suffering. We know this. We can't deny that suffering exists. There is suffering in the world and within our own lives. We experience that. The nature of suffering is due to our mind. So that's the second noble truth. And I'll say a little bit more about that. So the mind, and the Buddha went into some detail here. He said that where we get into trouble is when we have attachments to things. We attach ourselves to things in our life, to people, to situations. We want things to be a certain way in our life. Yes? We get very attached to people acting and behaving in certain ways. We get very attached to the world behaving in a certain way, yeah? And so he said that the nature of suffering is caused by our attachments. It is also caused, he said, by our aversions, by the things that we push away, the things that we say we don't want, the things that we just can't stand. And perhaps that could be related to the social and political structures of our society. Just saying. Could be connected to our political systems. It could be related to inequality, discrimination. It could be related to all of those things that we say we do not want, and we push them away, those things we have aversions to. He also talked about delusions. And delusions really encompasses all of it. And that's really a lack of clarity and understanding about the true nature of reality. Because we buy into all these other things as if they are the truth, don't we? We look at someone or the world and we claim it. Last week I talked about claiming. We claim it, we declare it as truth, as if that is the truth. And we get very attached to the world and people behaving in certain ways. And so that's what he said. The second noble truth is about suffering and how the mind contributes to that. The third noble truth says that we can release that. We can let go of our suffering. Now it sounds easy, but we all know it's not so easy. But that is the third noble truth. Now the fourth, he gives some kind of a path as to how to do that. and that's the Eightfold Path. And I'm just going to read these because just because I think it's important for you to know, and some of you may know what the Eightfold Path is, but here they are. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right connection. Now, what all that means, basically, is that when we change our perception, our views, when we change our thoughts, when we change our actions, when we change the words that we use, our life changes. Yes? Our life changes. You know, the mindfulness movement came out of that, came out of Buddhism, came out of the Eightfold Path, because it's all about being mindful. It's all about being mindful of how we move through the world and how we do things. The Buddha said, what we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and our present thoughts build our life tomorrow. Our life is the creation of our mind. So we are creating our life on a regular basis with our thoughts, with our beliefs, with what we focus our attention and our time on. We are creating that all the time. You know, so the Buddha discovered something that was tremendous for those of us on a spiritual path, and that's the power of the mind that Ernest Holmes talks about. What a gift that is for us, so that we can have more awareness of where our thoughts are and where our focus is. And you know, those moments when the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and those thoughts came, like I said, it was like leaves on a stream. So having awareness of what the thoughts are, we can't stop the thoughts. The thoughts don't just go away, but we can have more awareness of them. Noticing them without judgment, noticing them without making them wrong, without judging them as good or bad, just simply noticing. The Buddha talked about heaven and hell, and this is what he said. Heaven and hell are an imaginary creation of ignorant minds. You know, Ernest Holmes said the same thing. Ernest Holmes talks about heaven and hell, and that hell is what we create. We create that. It's a state of mind. It's not a place. We know this. It's not a place that we go, but it's more of a state of mind. And so the Buddha knew this, that we create that with our thoughts, with what we focus on. And we choose to do that to ourselves, don't we? And sometimes we're even aware, oh, I'm going down, I'm going down, I'm going down. And we can't stop ourselves from going down. We're just spiraling. And there we are. And now we're sitting in it. And now we're just stuck. And so, you know, we get these, we all experience these patterns of behavior and these ways of being. We all have addictive behaviors. We have habits. We have ways of being that we have been expressing for many, many, many years. And those behaviors keep us from connecting to our true nature. And this is something that the Buddha talked a lot about, was the importance of connecting and remembering our true nature. That was how he was able to become awakened, because when he sat there and connected, he connected with the true essence of who he was. Buddhist teacher Tara Brach, she said that on the path of awakening, it's important to pay attention to those times when we get stuck, to those times when we fall off, those times when we lose our way, to pay attention to those, because they're calling us to a deeper level of awareness. So it's not that those moments are bad, they are not. They're calling us to a deeper level of awareness. And when that happens, we are separating ourselves from our true self. That's all we're doing. We have forgotten our true self. Last week I talked about the divine and separating ourselves from the divine. Now Buddhism, they don't believe in God, but it's essentially saying the same thing. When we're connecting to our pure self, what are we doing? We're connecting with the divine within us. We're connecting with that true essence that we are. And when those parts of ourselves that show up, that when we are spiraling, when we are focused on our negative thoughts, when we are focused on our judgments of ourselves or judgments of others, it's not an opportunity to criticize or to put ourselves down. Those moments sometimes we feel like we got to do the spiritual path perfectly. We just simply notice, there goes my thought again. There goes that habit. It's really a habit that we have of focusing on that thing, whatever that is, that person's behavior, the behavior of the world, whatever it is that we are focused on. I love what Buddhism refers to. They have a name for this. It's called the hungry ghosts. Anybody heard of that before? The hungry ghosts. They're depicted as these creatures that have these long, thin necks and tiny little mouths. And these hungry ghosts, what they're doing is they have this insatiable hunger to take everything from the outside world, and they can't because their mouths are too small. But they keep trying so hard to get everything from the outside. They're looking to the outside world to fulfill them. We don't do that, do we? No. You know, it's our nature to go to the outside to get our needs met. When we were babies, what did we do? We put our hands up. We knew that everything came from the outside. Our love and our connection and being fed and all of that came from the outside. So we've all been trained to do that. That has been wired into us. But when we keep going to the outside to fulfill us, Tara Brach talks about how it imprisons us. It imprisons us when we continue to go to the outside. And so the more that we rely on the outside world to fulfill us, the more that we rely on our attachments, the more we get caught up in our delusions, the more we get caught up in the aversions, it pulls us away from our true nature. So those moments when we say, oh God, I want a new job so badly, and then you get the job. Or I have this illness, I have this pain in my body, and I want so much to be free of this pain in my body, and then suddenly you are. Or suddenly you receive more income that's completely unexpected. These are moments of joy. These are moments that bring us joy. We meet somebody new for the first time. How exciting is that? So we feel the happiness of that. We feel the joy of that. These are all things that are happening out here. It's hard not to feel that joy and to rely on that. When we experience something negative, same thing. We lose a job. We lose a partner. We have conflict in a relationship. We suddenly get an illness that we didn't expect. These are things that are happening out here, and we're reacting to them. But you know, what that is saying then is our state of mind is determined by what is happening out here. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be joyful or happy or sad when things change in our life. But the question is, for all of you, is how much of your life are you dependent upon the things that happen out here to bring you happiness and joy? How much are you relying on the things out here to bring you joy, to bring you happiness? So it's something to be aware of, to take note of. Yeah? Again, not to make ourselves wrong, but to just notice that, to be aware of it. And so the challenge for all of us is to be aware, to notice that, God, I am living more out here than I am in here. We wait for the outside world to change until, for us, then we make the change. When that person's behavior changes, then I will be happy. When the world changes, then I will be more at peace. So we often wait for something out here to change before it changes in here. And the work on this spiritual journey that all of us are on is really to notice, to shift that, to spend more time connecting within ourselves, to spend more time on the inside. And as we connect and spend time connecting with that inner world, it then shifts what we experience in the outer world. Because we create our life, it makes a difference. Has anybody experienced that? Becca's the only one? Okay. Awesome, Beck. Good job. Yeah. So the Buddha said that when we change what happens in our inner world, it changes what happens in our outer world. That is a fact. That's why it's a science of mind. That's why it's a science. Ernest Holmes said, "All human misery is a result of ignorance, and nothing but knowledge can free us from this ignorance and its effect." So it's really, we think that what's happening right here is the truth, don't we? We think that what's happening in our world, in our relationships, that this is the truth, that this is so. We buy into it as if it is the truth, and it really does feel that way. When we're stuck in our stuff, it's as if nothing else matters. But we forget that focus, as we do that, we can never be free of that. There's no freedom in that. There's no joy in that. The Buddha said to have a human life is truly a gift, because the human life gives us these opportunities to choose. It gives us opportunities to be in our stuff and to make a different choice. To choose, we have the power in any moment to go within. We may not sit in front of a tree like the Buddha did, or we might. But we can choose, even for 5 minutes, to go within and to connect in. And as we are sitting there, we are noticing the thoughts, we are noticing the suffering of the world, we are noticing our own suffering. All the thoughts are coming and going. And as we notice them, we just become aware of them without attaching ourselves to them, without labeling them as good or bad. We just simply notice. Because the thoughts aren't going to go away, unfortunately, right? They're not going to go away. So the power of Buddhism is about awareness. That's what it's about. It's about awareness. Become aware of the ingrained patterns that we are living inside of, and the things that we are attached to, and the things that we keep pushing away. And taking time to connect with our pure nature. Our pure nature, our pure self. Tara Brach said, "The pathway to true refuge is presence. The courage to meet even our most challenging inner experiences with a mindful awareness." So it's being mindful and aware, mindfully aware of the suffering that we may be going through. Meditation, as taught in the Buddhist tradition, isn't about just sitting and breathing. It's about having intentional awareness. It's about noticing what is coming in and then letting it go. Here comes another thought. I'm going to let this one go, and then this one go. We mistakenly think that we're not supposed to have any thoughts when we meditate. And that's just not realistic for those of us here on this human plane. So we have an awareness, and we watch, and we release them as they pass through. Pema Chodron talks about meditation as a way of training the mind, that it truly is about training the mind. To not grasp whatever comes, to not label it, but to just allow it to be there. You're having a conflict with someone in your life. You're feeling an insecurity. You're having great fear about something that's to come. Notice it. You become aware of it. You feel it, you notice it, and then you release it in that moment. And here's what happens. The more that we do that in our meditation time, then when we are out in the world walking around, we can do that. When we're driving our car, when we're at work, whatever it is we're doing out in the world, as we do it within in our meditation time, when we're now in the world, now we can experience it there too. So this is the gift that Buddhism has given to us. And this is really mainstream stuff now, yeah? Not just within science of mind. So awareness is the key. How often are we those hungry ghosts? How often are we trying to grasp something that is outside of ourselves in order for us to feel peaceful and content within? We are that Buddha nature already. Do you know, we don't have to try to force that. That's who we are. We are that pure nature is already there. Ernest Holmes said, we are whole, perfect, and complete. It's another way of saying it, because it's true. The rest of it is the mind that continues to take over. The culmination of the Buddhist noble truths is that freedom is possible and peace is possible when we can awaken from our delusions, when we can awaken from our attachments, we can awaken from our aversions. The Buddha said that I would not teach you this path and if it weren't possible to awaken. He knew that it was possible for all of us to awaken. So as we go out into our week, let's practice this. Let's practice in our meditation time connecting with that Buddha nature, taking time to notice the thoughts that come and to release them as they do. Are you willing to do that? Anybody willing to take that on this week? Becoming aware of your attachments. Notice when you're out in the world and you're relying more on what's out here to bring you joy than in here. Just notice, become aware of that. And then choosing to connect with that pure awareness and know that you are that Buddha nature. That is who you are. That is who we are. And when we do that, we can experience more joy and more freedom. Let's pray. Practitioner, please stand in high consciousness. And so in this place, I recognize and know that there is one life, one God, one peace, one power. I am knowing that the essence of spirit, the essence of life is right here. That it is within each one of us. That Buddha nature, that pure Buddha nature is who we are. We are that already. There is nothing that we have to do or become to be that, for it is who we are. And so I give thanks for remembering this. I give thanks for knowing this. That as we go out into the world, I am knowing that we are remembering to pay attention to those places and spaces within us where we are attached to some outcome, where we are pushing something away and judging it as wrong. When we are caught up in delusions, in stories, in beliefs that tell us things that just are not true. So I'm knowing that as we go out into our life this week, that we are remembering that we are taking time to go within, to connect into that quiet place. That we are able to be aware of our thoughts as they come and as they go, without labeling them, without judging them. We're able to just notice them and thus experience freedom and joy and peace. And so I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this taking place within each one of our lives. What a beautiful reminder it is. We give thanks for Buddha. We give thanks for his teaching. Because I am knowing that this teaching is supporting our spiritual journey. And so with great gratitude for what is unfolding for each one of us on our spiritual path, I let this go. I release it. I allow it to be here. I hand it over to the divine that always says yes without pause, without prejudice. And together we say, and so it is.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
All right. So it's now time in our service for our gifts and tithes, and I just invite you to take your gift or your tithe and place it over your heart. We have a number of ways that you can give. You can visit our website at cslnoco.org. You can text the word give, or you can mail your gift to our office. And we believe that as you give, we receive, the law of circulation. And as the basket comes around, just blessing it, sending your prayers and blessings into the basket, if you would, that would be great as well. So let's say our offering affirmation together. This gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give, and joyfully I receive.
Everything is sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a wonder, unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a blessing, bursting from the earth
they amazing? Thank you. All right. Thank you, Doug. So I bless all that has been given to this center, and I just know that it multiplies and blesses us as we continue to serve this community and beyond. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you all. Is there anyone here for the first time? Oh my gosh. Well, welcome. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. So know that there are welcome packets at the welcome table when you came in today. If you didn't get one, feel free to pick one up as you leave today. And welcome to our spiritual home. You're welcome here. We see you. We're so grateful that you're here. So glad you're here. All right. Let's stand for our closing benediction and our peace song. Let's say these words together. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. May we be healed, and may we be a source of healing for all beings. Love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. Grab a hand if you'd like. Sing along.